Hello and welcome to webinar edition number 3. This is Change Your Outlook. This style is actually going to be a little bit different than the other webinars we've done so far if you guys have tuned in for those. Outlook was kind of hard to do in real time, so we went ahead and pre-recorded some of the tips and tricks that we're going to show you today, and I'm just going to go through the steps with you guys and talk about them. Once again, there's a chat box on the right hand side. For any questions that you have, please put them in there and Sam will answer them in real time. And if we can't answer them right away, we'll make sure to get back to you as quick as possible. A few other things before we get going. There will be a short survey at the end, so we would be very grateful if you filled that out. My email is alex@omegacomputerservices.com if you have any general questions moving forward. But I think that is it. So we're just going to go through the normal things of Excel, things that you might be missing out on. There's a lot that you can do in, excuse me, I said Excel. I mean in Outlook. So there's a lot that you can do, so we just want to make sure we're doing the right thing. So we'll start here with creating signatures and adding it to your email. So to start off, you head up to File, and then after you do that, you're going to go down to Options. And once you go to Options, it's going to bring open another pane. And then there you can go to the Mail section, and then in the Mail section, there will be a Signatures tab. So you can go ahead and click on that, the Signatures button. And then from in there, you can see that there's a couple things you can do. You go ahead and click on New, and that will bring up your new signature name. So you go ahead and name that. We'll just go ahead and name that Alex New. And then you can head down to the text box, and from there you can just type what you want your signature to look like. So we went ahead and just put in "Thank you, Alex Willis." So then that will be added to all of your emails moving forward. So if you go ahead and click a save on that and then OK, that will be attached to all of your emails moving forward. And next is going to be find and replace text in an email. So to do that is pretty much the same as Word. So once you're in the email section of drafting an email, you're going to do a couple things there. So first you're going to move the cursor into the body of the email and click where you want it to be. So then you go up to the top where it says Format Text, the tab up there, and then head over to Replace, which is on the right hand side. And then you can find what you're looking for. So let's say in this one we're looking for semicolons and we want to change them to dashes. We put the find semicolon and then the replace with a dash. So if you click replace, that is just going to replace a single option of that. If you do replace all, it's going to replace all of them. And then find next, it'll just show you the next one in the series of finding those semicolons. You can also click the More section, which will bring down a drop-down pane, which is very helpful when it comes to formatting. So say if you wanted to make it bold or italicize just a certain part of your email, that's a good way to go about it. So you can see you can change the overall text, the font style, the size. So let's say we want to change this to a 14 size and we'll make it bold. So from there, if we go down and click OK after we make it bold, now we can go up there and click replace all. And once you click replace all, it's going to change all of the current semicolons that are over there to bold dashes. So now you can see once those replacements are made, it says we made 9 replacements. You can go ahead and click OK on that. And now all of those semicolons have been turned to dashes. All right, now moving forward, we're going to do add a table to a message. So this is also similar to the Word webinar that we did last month, also adding a table. So to start off, when you want to add a table in your email, you're going to first go to the section of the email where you would like the table to appear. So I go down to the bottom and click that I want it underneath all my text, and then I go to the Insert tab and then the Table section. So once you're in that Table section, you have a couple options. You can draw the table with the boxes selection that you have there. You can also insert a table, you can draw a table, or there's the Excel spreadsheet which is also handy. It'll import an Excel spreadsheet. But let's just stay with the normal blocks. Let's just add this basic table so we can see if they like this script of the website. So then you can just work like any other table. You fill in yes, no, maybe, and then from there you can send that email away and they'll see that little table in there, which is helpful for them if they want to forward it on and fill it out. So next is request, read receipts, and delivery. So from there, you can see that we have this nice Excel spreadsheet in there, but we want to make sure that Sam reads it going forward. So I have this plugin already. It's called Boomerang, as you can see up there, which is nice and handy, a cheat cheat way to read receipt sends. So I do recommend that, but there is another way to do it. If you go to the options tab and then in the tracking section, you can click request a read receipt and also request a delivery receipt. So request a read receipt, they have to confirm that they've read it, or request a delivery, they have to just basically say that they've received the message from you. So let's go, we want both from Sam. So we go request a delivery receipt or request a read receipt. Oh, let's just change it to a normal read. So from there, once you send that away, it's going to send her a message asking her to confirm that she's read it. So next I'm going to show you guys how to recall or replace an email message. This is a cool feature usually used internally. You can't do it on most out of office messages. So to do that, if you misspell something or would like to get an email back, say I send that email to Sam and then I want that back. So I go ahead and I click on it and then you can go to the move section and click the actions drop down and you get a couple options there and you can see recall this message. So if you go ahead and click recall that message, you have two options here: delete unread copies of this message or delete unread copies and replace with a new. So you can either select if you want to send another message or completely delete it and start over fresh. So I'm going to say I wanted to recall that message, and then you click OK, and then from there it'll send you a notification a couple minutes later if that was successful or they already received it and read it, and you're just going to have to deal with it. So next we're going to do download photos from safe senders. So when you receive an email from someone that you don't know, or just in general that has images in it, you see you get these red boxes, red X's in boxes. To download these images, you have to go up to the top and click on this, and once you click on this once, you get a couple options. Most just click download pictures right away, and that'll work for one time, but also you can change a couple things. So if you go to change automatic download settings, you can work with specific rulings with different domains. You can add sender to safe sender list, which will be the same. So say I want to receive this always from envelopes.com, or you can view in browser to be extremely safe. So let's just say I always want to download these pictures from this one sender. If I go ahead and click OK, it's going to download those pictures after I click download one more time. So every time I receive an email from envelopes.com, it will make sure to download these pictures. But make sure you're careful with who you're accepting on automatic downloads, because they can be harmful. Alright, so next is sending automatic replies. So this is usually a good thing because it means that you're probably going out of office and you don't want to be bothered by email. So to do that, you're going to go ahead and click File and then go to Automatic Replies. And this will open up the box that gives you the options of how to edit the message you want sent out. So right now it's on Do Not Send. So if you click on Send Automatic Replies, you can either start with adding a certain time range or just having the option of turning it on and off. So right now you can see that my message is I will be out of office until Tuesday. You can go down there and edit however you want. I italicize it, bold it, and just make sure who you send it to. So if you want it strictly inside your organization or outside, you can make different messages for both. So if you customize just outside differently. Now you can see that you change the message for one. Do you want to change it for both? Go ahead and just click yes on there. So they're the same message across the board for inside and outside. So if I click OK, you can see that the automatic reply is turned on. Now all I have to do when I want it off is come back to this section and click the turn off button that is there. So now that I turn it off, no one's going to be receiving that automatic message. And then I'll be back in office. So next we're going to go and dive into managing some rules. Now these are always helpful to make sure that your inbox is staying clean or you're sending messages to the right place. So it can be very handy to set up rules, but it can be a little complex. So to set up a rule, you go to File, and then from there you head down to Manage Rules and Alerts. Now when you click on this, you get a box brought up. So from here, I have no rule set currently. So if I go to the new rule and you click on that, and it gives you a couple options of stay organized, stay up to date. So the one that we're going to do is move messages with specific words into a subject folder. So if you go down to there, you click on specific words. So this will recognize if you get a word, it'll send it to a folder. So let's say I want any word with marketing or any word with communications. I would like that to be sent to a specific folder. Now that those are in there, I go down and I click OK. Now you can see that it changed it to what's in the subject line. And now I get to name what folder I would like it to go into. So then you can select which folder you would like those subject line words to go into. So I'm going to add it to the marketing folder. That only makes sense. Marketing or communication should go to that folder. Now that those are in there, you can see it's going to move it to that marketing folder. So if you click next on there, you can dive in depth even farther, setting up more rules of specific words in the body and the message, through a specific account if you have more than one account hooked up. So there you can just customize these rules a little bit farther. But for right now, we're just going to click next. There's even more exceptions. Are there any exceptions that you want to erase from that? So we'll just keep clicking next on that too. And then from there, you have the option of turning on this rule or run this rule new on messages already in inbox, so you can see if it works right away. But once that rule is set up, if you click OK, so now anything with the word marketing or communications is going to go to my marketing folder. So it's nice to use in organizing it. So now adding folders and subfolders. Folders are another great way to keep your inbox organized. So to collapse your folders is actually the first thing I'm going to show you. You go ahead and click this little triangle up top left, and you can collapse them so it kind of makes your inbox look a little sleeker if you have a lot of folders going on. But to create a new folder, you go ahead and right click, and then you get the option new folder. So we'll go ahead and click on that. From there you can name your folder whatever you want. We'll go ahead and call this one communications. So once you're done doing that, you click OK. And you can see that it pops up in all of my folder section. So it's in my inbox under communications. It's not in the favorite section yet. You can do that by throwing it up there in a second. I'll show you how to do that. So from here you can kind of drag it around. So say I want to get it out of my inbox, that it's under the subfolder right now, so I'll take it out of there. I'm going to click yes when it asks me if I want to move it. So now you can see it's not in the inbox section, it's all a standalone folder. So now from here, if I want to move it up to this favorite section, like I said before, you can go ahead and right click on it, and then from there you can see it says show in favorites. So now once it's in the favorite section, it's just easier to access, and you don't have to search through folders. So say if this is a folder that you use often, I highly recommend that you put it in the favorite section. So from there, we are going to go ahead and jump into the find a message or item with search. This is another great way to cut down on some time in Outlook. So searching for items is a very useful tool, but you got to make sure you're searching in the right places. So if you go ahead and click the drop down next to search bar, you can either search in current folders, subfolders, your current mailbox, or all Outlook items. You can also customize who it's from, the subject, if it has attachments. So if you're looking for something, you can get really specific with it. So I'm just going to show you the basics of it. So right now, say I'm looking for an email that has the word envelopes in it. So you can see I have a bunch right away from envelopes.com. So it has anything that's in the body, in the subject line, who it's from. So I didn't really slim it down that much, but let me try to dive into it a little farther. So you can use 3 words that work very well is and, or not. If you capitalize each option, it slims it down. So if I use and, it's going to search for envelopes and the word order in the same email. So you can still see that I have a lot here, but more in-depth side of it, if I want to make sure that I'm finding the right email, I can go up here and click has attachments. So once I click the has attachment, it's only going to bring up words with envelopes and order, and also has an attachment. So now I found the email that has an attachment on it. This is the one that I'm looking for. And I can make sure that the search is very specific and finally cut down on some time instead of scrolling through my mailbox for forever. So next is share a calendar with others. This is very useful, and I know a lot of people get confused on how you actually share a calendar, but it's actually super simple. So if you go to the home section of your calendar, once you're in the calendar tab, and then click share calendar, it opens up a basic email. And then from there you can type who you want to share it with. I'm just going to share it with my graphic designer Louise. And then after you decide who you want to share it with, you can click on if you would like to also receive their calendar as well as send yours. And then you can also go availability only, limited details, and full details. They each have their different perks, but I would like to see full details of where Luis is, the subject, and what he's doing, just because we're on the same team. So now you can go ahead and click send, and then click yes, and it will send your calendar over to him and he'll accept it and also respond to my calendar invite as well. So now we're going to go into changing the default font and themes of your general email. So a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually change the font that you send in emails. It doesn't always have to be that basic Arial font or whatever it is. So to do that, you go to File and then Options, and then from there you click on the Mail section, and then there is another section that is called Stationery and Fonts. You can go ahead and click on that, and you can see a box pops up. There's themes, there's fonts. So let's say if I want to change the font for a new email. So whenever I send out a new email, I can find a font that I like. So let's just go ahead and click this Futura, and then we can also change the size, but we'll make it size 16, and then we can say what kind of font style we want it in, and then we click OK, and you can see that now whenever I send a new email, it'll be in that font style. Or you can select pre-made fonts, that Excel has set up for you. So let's just select this purple one here. It'll make the background purple and change the entire font scheme of whenever I create a new email. So if I go out here and click OK, and now I go to click a new email, you can see that this background has changed. I don't really recommend this if you're sending professional emails, but it is cool to send different styles to people who are unsure about it. You can see the typeface is different than before. So that's just a neat and kind of fun thing to do with your Outlook if you're looking for a little bit of change of pace. So next is personalizing your alert message. So this is a nice way to make your Outlook a little bit more of your own. The message that comes up on the side when you have a new email, sometimes it'll pop up depending on your settings over in this right hand side with you have a new message from so-and-so. But if you want to change that, you basically just go to Options and then back to the Mail section. And then from there you can see this message arrival. Right now I have play sound, show an envelope in the taskbar, and display a desktop alert. You can select the ones that you think would get your attention more, or maybe you don't want them to get your attention. That email kind of ruins your day sometimes. So you can select on what you would like, if you want the play sound, or briefly change your mouse pointer while you're working on something to make sure that you understand that you have a new email and you should get on that to check it. So you can just go in and check the boxes that you would like moving forward, and then click OK. And then from there on out, your alert messages will be the way that you have them set up. So next we're going to work on customizing your navigation. This is super simple as well. So first thing first is basically just your general layout. You can see you get these double-sided arrows. If you click and drag that in your inbox, you can stretch it out a little farther so you can read a little bit more of the preview text in emails, or you can make it smaller. Also, same thing with the folder section. You can make it so you can see all of your folders a little bit better. And then there's these three little dots at the bottom. If you go ahead and click on that, it'll bring up a little box there that you can click on navigation options. And then from there you can select what you would like to show in this display bar at the bottom. If you click OK and change that to the wording of it, so now a lot of people like this view. You can see mail, calendar, people, tasks, notes, and folders. You just have a lot more options and can once again customize how you want your Outlook to look. I know this also helps people a lot out with just their general organization of things. Alright guys, this is the last section for the day. It is Outlook shortcuts, another great way to save you some time. Not a ton of time, but it'll definitely help you out. So the first one that we're going to go into is open a new email pane. So if you click Control-Shift-M, you can see a new email box pops up. We're going to close out of that. Next one is open the current message that you are on. If you go Control-O, that will open the current message, and you can work with that, forwarding, replying from inside of that current message pane. Next one is selecting all in your inbox. So if you go Control-A, you can see it'll highlight all of the message. This is a great way to mark all as red, get rid of that blue number that can irritate you from time to time. So the next one is actually marking as unread. So if you click Control-U, it'll turn it back to that blue state that it has before you actually click on it and read it. So a good way to make sure you get back to things. Then if you want to go ahead and mark it as red, you click Control-Q, and you can see it takes away that blue highlight. The last one that we're going to talk about is flagging a message for follow-up. So if you click Control-Shift-G, it will pop up a box that shows you that you need to follow up with this email, or this was someone important that you want to get back to. You can name it and set a start date and end date. So that is it, I believe, guys. I know this one was a little faster and we had a different style to it. So I'd love your feedback after the quick survey. If you have any questions about Outlook in general, please email me, Alex, ALEX, at omegacomputerservices.com. And once again, I want to thank you so much. We're trying to do these webinars every third Wednesday of a month. This is our third one, and we've had a great success with them so far. And we hope that you enjoying them as much as you can be. And if I'm doing a good job or a bad job, let me know so I can improve and make these more fun and entertaining for you guys. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you next month. Thanks. Bye.